Past the bottom, now we're into the Elite Eight. We're entering the pressure zone where expectations are sky high, legacies are on the line, and every Saturday feels like a referendum. These next four coaches aren't just names, they're narratives. And this tier is loaded with grit, controversy, and championship ambition. This is where the stories get heavier, the stats get louder, and the pressure gets real. Let's dive into part 3 of the Big 12 coaching countdown, where being good isn't good enough. Better grab your stats. This is the Trust the Beard podcast. Fellow Mountaineers, you made it to another edition of the Trust the Beard podcast. To welcome you in today, we are going to look at the top half of my Big 12 coaching ranks, number 8 through number 5. We've got a lot to get into, so without further delay, we'll jump right into it. So here's Coach number 8.
Number 8, Sonny Dykes, TCU Horned Frogs.
Sonny Dykes' coaching journey has been anything but linear. Over 16 seasons, he's quietly built one of the more fascinating resumes in all of college football. A tale of persistence, re-innovation, and a career rise that peaked under the brightest lights. His early years were modest, a promising start at Louisiana Tech, where he claimed the WAC title and Coach of the Year honors in 2011. That was followed by a turbulent stretch at Cal that left many wondering if he'd ever break through. But then came SMU, and the tide began to turn. A 30-18 record in Dallas showed he could build and sustain success. Still, nothing hinted at what was about to come. Then came the move to Fort Worth, and everything changed. In just 3 seasons at TCU, Dykes has gone 27-13, posted a .75 win percentage, and is at a 3-way tie for first among Big 12 coaches in 3-year conference wins at 18. But it was 2022 that etched his name into college football lore. That year, he led the Horned Frogs to a national championship appearance against Georgia after basically decimating Michigan in the semifinal round. And this was a run so unexpected it felt like fiction. And TCU wasn't just winning, they were kind of defying the odds, knocking off ranked teams and capturing the imagination of college football fans everywhere. That season earned him 8 Coach of the Year awards, including AP and Big 12 honors, and vaulted the Horned Frogs to the number 2 final AP ranking. A staggering leap for a coach whose career win percentage was at .563. Yet, the aftermath has been more complicated. A postseason record of 3-4, the expectations have ballooned at TCU, and the question now is whether Dykes can sustain the magic or if 2022 was a one-time spark. Now, moving forward, I think Sonny Dykes has TCU in a great place. I think they can be consistently in the top half of the league. But on a personal note, I believe that TCU, or at least Sonny Dykes, is slightly overrated. And I know that will probably I'll hear some grumblings down in the Fort Worth, Dallas area with TCU fans if they're actually watching this. But his history of his record doesn't jump out at me as anything special. Yes, he had the one magical year at 2022 where he took Gary Patterson's players to a national title, and no one saw that coming. If anyone had said at the beginning of that season, TCU is going to match up or roll over Michigan and face Georgia in the national title, everyone would have laughed. And so that is an amazing feat, right? You're no dummy of a coach if you can achieve that. But on the landscape of all coaches, I just find him kind of middle of the pack. And I think he's the kind of coach, like many other coaches that you talk about, if he has the talent there, he could take TCU places. Well, you can say that about a lot of coaches. I mean, if I had the number 1 recruit at every position, I could probably at least win a bowl game, I would imagine. So, and, obviously coaching is hard, and these guys know what they're doing, and he probably knows more football today than I will ever learn in my lifetime. But in the coaching world, I just find him average. And I kind of gear it towards would I want him as my head coach? And with this, for Sonny Dykes, I'd have to say no. I think he has TCU in a great place. I think they will be consistently in the top half of the league. I think he will be consistently a top of the league coach or top half of the league. So that's one of the reasons I have him now at number 8. Let's go ahead and look at number 7.
Number 7, Matt Campbell, Iowa State Cyclones.
If college football had a blueprint for building something out of nothing, Matt Campbell would be the architect. Before Campbell arrived in Ames, Iowa State was a program defined more by heartbreak than headlines. Double-digit win seasons were pretty much non-existent. National relevance was pretty much rare. But since 2016, Campbell has injected belief into a program that had long been an automatic W on opponent schedules. Now, facing Iowa State means walking into a fistfight. What used to be a guaranteed win is now a guaranteed black eye. The Cyclones don't just show up, they show out. And after a strong run at Toledo, where he went 35-15, Campbell took over the Cyclones and immediately began reshaping their identity. In 9 seasons, he's racked up 64 wins, earned multiple Coach of the Year honors, and delivered Iowa State's only double-digit win season in school history. That 2024 campaign was a symbol that the Cyclones weren't just competing, but they're contending. His teams reflect the blue-collar, lunch pail mentality of Iowa itself, a state built on hard work, humility, and grit. Farmers who rise before the sun and don't flinch at dirt under their nails or sweat on their brow. The Cyclones play like they've been raised on that same soil, tough, grounded, and unafraid to get their hands dirty. With 99 career wins, a 600 overall win percentage, and a .713 3-year win rate that ranks second among Big 12 coaches, Campbell's consistency is undeniable. He also posted 9 wins over the AP Top 25 and landed in the 2 final AP rankings, a feat that once felt impossible in Ames. His postseason record sits at 5-5, but the bigger story is what he's built, a program that punches above its weight, recruits with purpose, and plays with a chip on its shoulder. Campbell isn't just winning games, he's changed the expectations for the Cyclone faithful. Now let's look at number 6.
Number 6, Lance Leipold, Kansas Jayhawks.
Lance Leipold didn't inherit a football team. He inherited a train wreck. Kansas was dead, a program that hadn't seen a bowl game since 2008, hadn't beaten a ranked team in over a decade, and had just finished a winless COVID season where they were outscored by more than 30 points per game. The Jayhawks weren't just bad, they were essentially invisible. A basketball school with a football team that existed only to fill out the schedule. And then Leipold walked in. He didn't bring flash or promise miracles, but he brought fundamentals and promised hard work. And what followed was one of the most methodical, culture-first rebuilds college football has seen in years. In his first season, Kansas went just 2-10, but by year 2, they were bowl eligible, and by year 3, they were winning 9 games, their best season since the Orange Bowl run in 2007. They took down number 6 Oklahoma, they beat number 18 Oklahoma State, and they stunned number 7 BYU. And WVU fans remember what they did to us at home in 2022. And of all that, they did it with a roster that just 2 years earlier had been written off as hopeless. That transformation didn't come from luck. It came from a man who knows how to build. Before Kansas, Leipold was already a legend. At Division III Wisconsin Whitewater, he went 109-6. That's not a typo. 109 wins, 6 losses, 8 seasons. He won 6 national championships and reached 100 career wins faster than any coach in NCAA history, doing it in just 106 games. His postseason record, 34 wins, 1 loss. That kind of dominance doesn't just deserve respect, it demands it. And then came Buffalo, a MAC program with no history, no momentum, no expectations. And Leipold turned them into a winner. 37 wins in 6 seasons, 2 division titles, 2 bowl victories, and in 2020, a COVID-shortened year, he led the Bulls to a 6-1 record and a final AP ranking, something that had never happened in school history. And now at Kansas, he's doing it all over again. His overall head coaching record stands at 168-67. That's a .714 win percentage, which is second best among all coaches in this rank. His teams have won 7 conference titles, and he's earned 12 Coach of the Year honors across 3 different leagues. And his postseason record is 37 wins and 3 losses. That's a .925 win rate when the lights are the brightest. So why isn't he higher? Because his FBS record, 22-28 at Kansas, is still catching up to his legacy. He's still in the middle of the build. But make no mistake, this is a man who's turning a historic basketball school into a dual-threat athletic brand. And he's not just winning games, but he's changing the culture. And he's doing it with a blueprint built on belief. Lance Leipold doesn't chase headlines. He simply builds foundations. I know this one can be controversial because of the success he had at the lower level, right? That stuff doesn't quite equate to the P4 level. But you have to factor in that he had Division III players playing against Division III opponents, just like with Deion Sanders at Jackson State, right? Leipold wasn't taking Oklahoma down to the Division III level and dominating, right? The recruiting is limited, the talent pool is limited, and he did with what he had, and he dominated. And so that's why he's so high up on this list. Now, I know he hasn't had the exact same success at the FBS level or even at the P4 level, but look at the program he took over. Kansas was the automatic W and was forgotten about. And now he has them in the right place to be a Big 12 title contender. He's getting them there at least. So because of all that, his accolades, what he did before, and what he's done with Kansas, that's why he is at number 6. Now let's look at number 5.
You know, we've had a lot of fun this episode. But you know what's not fun? Not subscribing to the Trust the Beard podcast. Don't pull a Darren DeVries and leave me hanging. Do the right thing. Hit that subscribe button. Like this episode. And share it with every couch-burning buddy in Mountaineer Nation. And make sure to follow me on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Earbeard.
Number 5. Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State Cowboys.
We all remember the rant. I'm a man and I'm 40. After 21 seasons at Oklahoma State, we know this for sure. He's definitely beyond 40, and he's still very much the man in Stillwater. Mike Gundy just isn't a coach. He's a fixture. He's a mullet-rocking, visor-wearing, press conference quoting institution. And more importantly, he's been the model of consistency at his alma mater since taking over in 2005. In an era of coaching carousels and transfer portal chaos, Gundy has done what few others have: build and sustain a winning program at one school for 2 decades straight. With 169 career wins, all at Oklahoma State, Gundy ranks first among Big 12 coaches in total wins, AP Top 25 victories with 21, and final AP rankings with 10. His teams have posted a .657 win percentage, and he's earned 3 Big 12 Coach of the Year honors. His postseason resume is pretty strong too, 12-6 in bowl games. And when it comes to conference play, he's racked up 102 Big 12 wins, which is good for third all-time among these coaches. But here's the catch. For all that consistency, for all those wins, Gundy has just one Big 12 title to show for it, that magical 2011 season. That lone championship is the one thing keeping him from the top spot in these rankings, and lately the shine has dulled a bit. The last 3 seasons have seen a dip in production, where he ranks 14th among Big 12 coaches in the conference win percentage over that span, which raises questions about whether the Cowboys are still contenders or just hanging around. But still, Gundy's legacy is undeniable. He's turned Oklahoma State into a perennial threat, a team that can beat anyone on any given Saturday, and a program that's no longer overshadowed by its in-state rival. He's built something lasting in Stillwater, and he's done it his way. So whether it's the mullet, the swagger, or the scoreboard, Mike Gundy is Oklahoma State football. And while he may not be number 1 in this ranking, he's number 1 in longevity, loyalty, and leadership. That wraps up ranks 8 through 5, coaches who've proven they belong, but still have something to prove. Whether it's sustaining success, breaking through the ceiling, or finally turning potential into production, this tier is full of programs on the edge of something bigger. But next up, the top 4. These are the coaches who separated themselves, whether by wins, recruiting, innovation, or sheer consistency. They're shaping the Big 12's identity in real time. But in part 4, we'll break down the names driving the conference's biggest headlines and the ones with the most to lose if things go sideways. Now, here's the big question. How'd I do this time? Drop a comment. Let me know if you agree, disagree, think I left someone way too high or way too low. But remember, subscribe to the podcast, like the episode, follow me on social media at Earbeard for more Gold and Blue, Big 12, and college football content. This has been the Trust the Beard podcast. Remember, hype fades, stats speak. Goodbye, God bless, go Ears.